because when you get to high school, nobody's going to be printing out anything for you. They're going to say, take notes. They're not going to say, oh, this would be a good idea for something to write down. Oh, this would be good. No. And Miss Prentice does it all the time. I should treat you more like a high school teacher. Yeah, like, Okay, I'm still missing some peoples. I've got Annabelle, Yvonne, John, Jose, Luisa, Marisol, Randy, William, Yulivani. I'm missing Santiago. Did I say yes? I'm missing Jesus, Alan. I'm missing Karen, Emily. I know Kevin's also taking the quiz, so Kevin, you should be doing that. I'm missing Ruby. Let's go. Moving on. So today we are starting, and yesterday or the day before that, depending on what day you were not taking the quiz, you should have done your Ed puzzle. Your Ed puzzle was not only for a grade, but it was also an introduction to what we're starting today. It was also for you to refresh yourselves on what you did last year. So we are adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. I'm thinking, hold on. Because right now in your notebooks, all the notes that you have are... Okay, so we marked the beginning. For those of you at home, if I see you next week, I will mark it for you. If I don't, make sure to mark it with something so that you know that this is where your notes start. You can even title it with the words the number system. Fun title. The number system. Okay, so we will be using different models to add and subtract positive and negative integer numbers. Let's look at some vocabulary, and I probably should have put the word integer first, but I forgot. Additive inverse. It is the number that when added gives a sum of 0. So 4 and negative 4. So additive inverse, think of it as kind of like 0 pairs. If you add 5 plus negative 5, it gives you 0. If you have 6 and negative 6, it gives you 0. So additive inverse, think of it as if you were looking at 0 pairs. Integer, a number with no fractional part. So it's important for when I say integer that you know what I'm talking about. So an integer is a whole number. It can be a positive whole number. It can be a negative whole number. But that's what an integer is. An integer is not a decimal. It is not a fraction. It is not a repeating decimal. It is none of those things. All the whole numbers and all the whole negative numbers are integers. And by next week, your number system vocabulary words will be in the vocabulary section. And when we're finished, I'm going to show you where you're going to find your lessons for next week, because we're going to change it up a little bit. Whole numbers. We all know what whole numbers are. What's an example of a whole number? 0, 5, 3, 2, 1. Exactly. Infinity and beyond. So a whole number is a positive number with no fractional or decimal part. So a whole number, again, is also an integer. It is a positive integer. 0 pairs. Make sure you write this down because I did not print it out for you. 0 pairs. When you add a positive integer and a negative integer, the result is 0. For example, 1 plus negative 1 is 0. Because one positive number and one negative number cancel each other out. I forgot to give it to you yesterday. I think it's for books or something. So again, for those of you at home, make sure you write this down. 0 pairs is important for you to remember. You will see it on the classwork assignment. You will see it on the quiz. You will see it for the rest of your life, so you might as well know what it is. On the notebook, write it down because I'm about to move on.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what they're doing right now. Okay, moving on. We're going to walk through a problem nice and slow. But I'm pretty sure from seeing you guys doing your questions yesterday, I think we've got it, but we're going to walk through it anyway. Adding and subtracting integers. I would, again, write this down. Title it, Adding and Subtracting Integers. Step 1. Model the integers using positive and negative counters. Again, notice how I say adding and subtracting integers. I didn't say adding and subtracting all numbers. Because once we get to rational numbers, things change a little bit. I really think I'm going to try those little buttons, and then when you guys are ready to, yeah, I know I can keep going.
You guys, when you write adding and subtracting integers, you might want to like box it out so it's really easy to see that title. When you come back with your English, it's easy to find.
Okay, so model the integers using positive and negative counters. So this is an example. Oh, sorry, do we want to go back 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. You're probably not the only one. I'd rather you tell me. And the good thing is it's right up there on your screen, so you don't have to struggle to see the one on the board. Okay, so ignore the directions because I cannot drag and drop. Oh, but I do have to recalibrate this thing like every other day. Really? What the heck is this? Can everybody at home see my screen? Because no one said anything, so I'm assuming you can. Okay, so 4 plus -5. We've got our positive counters and we've got our negative counters. I'm going to go ahead and model my integers. So 4 is 4 positive or negative? It is positive. So you can either do an open circle or you can do an open circle with a plus, or you can just do a plus sign. Whatever you feel the most comfortable with. I feel comfortable with open and closed circles. So my 4 positive counters. And then -5 is obviously a negative number. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's it. I modeled my positive and negative numbers. Let's go ahead and look at what I should be doing next. No, like here. You mean on your screen?
Yeah.
No, you would only see, do you ever see what I'm writing on the board? Okay, thank you. Nobody can see my screen. Nobody was saying anything. No, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, I don't remember if I reshared my screen or not. And since no one was saying, Miss, I can't see your screen, which is the norm, start getting yelled at, you can't see my screen. Second step, you match 1 positive with 1 negative, creating what we talked about, 0 pairs. And then we get rid of those pairs. That is your second step. So that's the second step you should be writing down. Thank you for letting me know. And just to make it easier on me, put your pencils down when you're done so that I know I can keep going. Okay, so let's take a look. Where'd it go? We're gonna take a look. Okay, so you're gonna have to look at my screen because for some reason it's blank. So we had 4 plus -5. We did our 4. We did our -5. And then our second step was to pair up a positive and a negative, and then cancel it out. Positive and negative, positive and negative, positive and negative. So I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 pairs. Those are now gone. And I'm assuming most of you can already imagine what your answer is. Don't tell me. Make sure you write this as part of your example. No, it's not just there for show. You need steps with the example, not steps with nothing. Okay, third step. Easy peasy. Whatever's left is your answer. So we were left with a negative counter, which gave us an answer of -1. Okay, so now I want you to try this problem. You have -2 plus -3. And I want you to think as you're solving it. Obviously, you can't drag and drop. You can either use your plus and minus. You can use your full or empty circles. Whatever works for you. And think about negative plus a negative is going to give you what answer? I want you to think about that when you're finished. Okay, this should be quick. It shouldn't take us more than maybe 2 minutes. Okay, so for my -2, am I using my empty circles or my full circles? Full circles. So I have 1, 2. And then for my -3, empty or full? Full again, because it's still negative. Now my big question is, can I create 0 pairs? Can I?
No.
No, I can't. I can only create 0 pairs with a positive and a negative. I cannot create 0 pairs with 2 negatives. So that means all I'm doing is adding everything together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it positive or negative? Negative. So you see that a negative and then plus a negative gave us what kind of answer? A negative answer. So let's try another one. Or let you try another one, because this Vernon doesn't do it. Okay, so now you have a -6 plus a +8. And again, I want you to think about a negative and a positive. What kind of answer is it giving you? Will it always give you that answer?
And guys, these examples she's giving, you should also write these in your notes so that you see one of every kind of problem you could see. And then put it on your cards or in the examples.
Let's see if I can find problems at home. I can't find them. I'm going to make some more weekend. Good problem. And then I'll go back and have them put one for report and put one for next. We might just sit and organize their binders for a second on Monday. And then get on Wednesday. And kind of spreading the book for a board. And put a section in the end for one. Well, you just open and whatever it lands on is the next thing to read. Okay, so take another 30 seconds to finish. Again, this should not be taking a long time. I would not just write it on the screen. I would also write it in your notebook. I like it. Okay, so my -6. I'm going to go ahead and draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you see if I'm standing in front of the screen right here? Those of you over there? Can you see? And then I've got 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you need to count them to yourself so you don't make a mistake, by all means. Now can I create 0 pairs this time?
Yep.
Yes, I can, because I have positive and negative. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I create 0 pairs with the 2 numbers that are left? No, I can't. So what do I have left? I have +2. I have positive to left. Now I'm putting the positive just to signify that it's positive, but when you're gonna write it down, don't put a +2 in your warm up because it'll probably end up being wrong. Okay, so I had a negative and a positive. What kind of answer did it give me? A positive 2. Do you think it's always going to give you a positive answer? Why do you not think that? Somebody, anybody, one person. Okay, so what happens if I had -8 and a +6? What would I have gotten then? A -2. Because which number was bigger? The -8. So it kind of looks like we're heading towards getting the answer or the sign of the larger number, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to do something a little different for the next one. You're going to have so much fun with this one. Not that one. This one. It says write a number sentence to represent each model. Yay! Do you know how to write a number sentence?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's not like
No? Yes? Oh, you're not even sure?
I do.
What do you think it is?
You want to pull a question, like negative something and it's positive.
Yeah, that's right. So how many positives do I have?
So,
I have 6 positives. And since we're working with addition, we're just going to go ahead and put plus. And how many negatives? -8. And then you can create your 0 pairs. So what I like to do with this funky little circle is this. I go, whee, 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 whee. Or you can just draw them out. And then what do I have left over? -2. So I did that one. You get to do the next one. All by yourself. But. Not like but. I'm moving it, people at home. You get to do the next one. Write a number sentence to represent the model. And go.
Ruby's computer is not working again. Miss Melvin, Ruby's computer is not charging, and I told her maybe the charger's broken. And it's not the computer. Like Timar, we found out his charger was broken. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And see, if you needed to log on, you can charge your computer again.
Remember, you're writing a number sentence and then solving. You can't just write a number sentence, you gotta tell me what the answer is. Okay, so who can tell me what our number sentence is?
+6 plus -7
Equals -1. Jose Gucci. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 left over. I think I put another one. Maybe 2. Making number sentences is good practice. Good practice. Try again. I like this one. You, Levi, what is it?
The number sentence?
Yeah, what's my number sentence?
Positive 4 plus negative 2.
Equals
0.
0, because 4 plus negative 4 is 0. Creates all these beautiful 0 pairs. What if I had said 5 plus negative 5?
Still 0.
What about 6 plus negative 6?
0.
Look at you. Oh, wait. What if I had done 1.25 plus negative 1.25?
0.
Now you're thinking you're like super smart because you know what they're doing. Wait. It's not so bad today not being able to use calculators, right? Not yet. Okie dokie. Let's see. Annabelle, what's my number sentence? 7 plus negative what? 3 equals 4. Because we did 1 and 2 and 3, and we were left with positive 4. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Those of you at home, make sure to submit. Because I mean, technically that was your exit ticket, but I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember putting a video. Oh! Well, that was a mistake. Anyway. No, we're not going to watch it. Miss Perniz is going to add a slide because apparently the slide that was supposed to be in there is gone. Your guess is just about as good as mine. Because when you're up really late at night trying to make sure you get your stuff done, things happen. And not always the best things. I should just write it on the blank screen right now. Okay, so we're gonna just write our rules real quick. If this ever lets me.
always happens in first block. Like, why can't you guys be normal? Why can't you guys let me have a normal day? Okay, I don't even care at this point. Go, go. Okie dokie. Hopefully this works now.
So, adding and subtracting positive and negative integers. Really? You're kidding me. Lord Jesus. Okay. So adding and subtracting positive and negative integers. Yeah. Rules. 2, 3. Make sure to write this down. I know I wrote like super fast on there. Those little things in between adding and subtracting, that's an and. And negative integer rules. Okay, so what happens when I add a positive integer and a positive integer? So 1 plus 2. I know I get 3. And what kind of number do you get? Positive or negative? Positive. You guys are silly. We can even write that example since you guys decided 1 plus 2 is 3. It does. What happens when you add a negative plus a negative number? So -1 plus -2. You get a negative answer. And we're going to use that same example. So negative. I wish there was a way for you to see it on your screen. I do. I got to figure it out. I'm pretty sure there's a program I can use. I just haven't tried it yet. I might try it over the weekend. Huh? No. No, I don't. If you're here in school, I don't want you to have 2 screens. I think there's this program called Jamboard that might let it so that I can do it and then you can have it. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I have a Nearpod on Instagram, not on Instagram, on Facebook, and there was another teacher saying Jamboard is really good as an extension. I was like, I want to try it over the weekend because that way you guys will be able to see this writing on your screen also. And that way people at home won't have to split their screens either. Okay, last but not least, if I do, let's say, -3 plus 5, is my answer going to be positive or negative? Positive. But let's say I do positive 3 plus negative 5. Positive or negative answer? Negative answer. So we notice that our answer takes the sign of which number? The smaller or the larger number? The larger number. So that's a good trick to keep in mind when you're checking your answers. So positive plus negative, your answer takes sign of larger number. And we'll do those two examples down here. So negative 3 plus 5, or positive 3 plus negative 5. And that will also come in handy when we look at rational numbers. So fractions. Again. Say it again?
Are you gonna start geometry?
Not yet. We don't do geometry until, I want to say until February. I think maybe January. I know. I taught geometry last year while everybody was in remote learning. That was super fun.
Okay. Where's the marker? Okay, go ahead and work on your classwork. If you are done with today's classwork, tomorrow's classwork is already open for you. Because I just knew that I'd had my few that would be done. Because I'm psychic that way.
We're done